It is May 30th, 2024. This is a Thursday evening. Yeah, it's kind of interesting week. I started to notice I'll talk about some equipment issues because there's always equipment issues. I'm on my gaming rig, which is holding up with the audio setup, very happy with that. But of course, it's never that easy. I started to notice that my camera is turning off, which is sort of the if I had to pick a worse evil, the microphone is the worst one because I don't know that it's going bad until I'm done the recording. So that's not happening now. That problem is solved. It literally was because of the Alienware hardware. There's just an issue with that computer. I synced some things on Reddit that suggest that's a pattern with that hardware. So whatever, we avoid it. But what's happening now with the camera is I've noticed around the hour mark of recording, it's turning off. I got fluff on my head or something. What's up with that? Oh yeah, that's dog fluff. So we'll get rid of that. The interesting thing is, yeah, about an hour it turns off, and then I can turn it back on and it's fine, but it only lasts like a few minutes. So I reached out to a buddy and he was like, it might be overheating. It's a Sony Alpha 7. He was saying they actually are known to have overheating problems. I've never encountered this before. It just started happening with this camera. So kind of interesting. So I kind of panicked this morning and I'm like, I can't be out of a camera. So I asked him his take on what a good camera is. And this is not like a boasting thing or whatever. I bought this for car photography because I had some friends that were doing it. I wanted to try making sure I could do my own photography for my car. That was another hobby I have. And so, it's like a few $1,000s, this camera. And I'm like, man, I'm going to have to get it repaired. It's going to cost me, I'm going to have to buy a new one, basically, is my worst case scenario being planned out. So I'm mentally preparing to drop a few grand on a camera, which I don't want to do at all, but I need to be able to keep making videos. And he was like, by the way, like, this is the camera for, for vlogging and stuff. They like basically specifically made it for that. Showed me this other Sony camera and it's like $700. And I'm like, man, like, I'm like, I can overnight this on Amazon and have it here like by 8 in the morning. So I did. I have a new camera coming for 8 in the morning. Thank you, Amazon Prime, for your glorious abilities. But the interesting take here is this is the third recording that I'm doing today. No, it's the fourth. This is the fourth recording I'm doing today. And the test was that I did the last recording and I left the camera on. So it should have gone past the hour mark where it's overheating. And I changed a setting on the camera that was like, don't turn off when the temperature gets too high. And I was feeling the camera when I was thinking about this problem earlier. The camera doesn't feel hot at all. So maybe it's a faulty like thermostat or sensor. I don't know. So anyway, it's holding up. I hadn't turned it off since recording the previous video. So it's holding up, and I'll have a new camera in the morning that'll let me play with things over the weekend at least to make sure that I'm in good shape and I can keep making videos should this crap out on me again. Anyway, just wanted to share that because it's a sort of behind the scenes like nightmare stuff I have to kind of figure out. So I'm fortunate to be in a position where I can like just overnight a brand new camera. Like I'm happy about that. Sorry, I should say happy, but that I'm in the fortunate position. I'm happy that I have to potentially overnight one. Not happy about that. Anyway, okay, work stuff. I was in at the office this Wednesday. I had got to appreciate being in the office from missing some of the conversations that kind of happened, like they call like water cooler chat kind of thing. So I was having like a casual conversation with my boss about some technology. I'm not going to go into the details, obviously. And it was just like, hey, if we wouldn't have been talking about this, like we would have missed some interesting opportunities. So it was just one of those reminders, like that is something I miss about the office. I still love the flexibility of working from home because that day I was also reminded that it took me an hour to drive home because it was raining, like not a good reason. It rains every day here. So yeah, it was just an interesting, opportunity, and I feel like it just wouldn't have happened if we were working remote. It just never would have come up. So kind of cool. But work's been going good. Um, Definitely feeling more, what's the word? I don't want to say like more intelligent. I'm feeling more comfortable, confident in some of the things we do on the team. Like I'm able to answer questions about some of the technology pieces for other people. Um, which you might be going, well, duh, shouldn't you be able to be? But the reality is like it's a lot to ramp up in these platform teams at Microsoft. Like I won't sugarcoat it. It's very challenging. Um, as an engineering manager, and that's because I'm not spending my time in the code. I feel like if I were, it would be a different story. It would, I think, happen more smooth. Uh, but I have to kind of pick up pieces and try to understand. So anyway, it's happening, and that's great. Um, Side project wise, what do I want to talk about for this? We're definitely getting momentum. I'm happy about that. So we're building fast, and that's really cool because I think I mentioned this before. I felt very stuck on some really stupid things, and I'm like, I know this needs to work, and I just can't do it. But one of the beautiful things is the people that I'm working with. I know, I know that all that I have to do when I'm stuck is like ask them something, and it literally they can unblock me very quickly. We work very very well together. Um, so I again, that's another thing I'm very fortunate for is just having people that it's our working relationship is very strong and we can play into each other's like strengths and weaknesses. So it's really cool. There is an interesting situation where we I say I've reached out to someone who I think is building something. It's not the same, but I think it's very complementary. And I think that aside from a little bit of focus difference, it does seem to align very well with like the mission of what we're trying to do. So I'm reaching out to this person to basically see if they want to collaborate and find ways to partner on it, which is challenging for us. And what I mean by challenging is like we're a small group of people that has known each other for a long time. We know how to work with each other. Like it's easy to work with each other. And this person seems like they're passionate about what they're doing in a similar space, right? Like solving a similar problem. And we don't know the person. And that makes it like it makes it weird, and not weird as in like the person's weird. It makes it weird because we want to be able to trust them. We want to like, you want to be working on things together, and we just need to make sure that it's a good fit for both sides, right? Like I don't it's not just like is this person going to benefit me? Like absolutely not. I would feel terrible. I'd feel terrible if this person, is going to partner up with us and they're not getting out of it what they expected. Like that would feel very bad for me, and I don't want that. I would much rather say, look, if it's not a good fit, like that's totally fine. Like I don't want you to be in a situation that you're regretting. So I need to make sure that we're very transparent about things, and so we're kind of navigating that. But like I'm trying to temper my excitement because I'm like, I think this would be really cool to be able to, work with someone new on this stuff. They are passionate about it. That's great. Like all good things. And we just need to make sure that like I say this a lot with software engineering and you're working with your manager and stuff, like level set expectations. I think if we have those from the beginning, then it's like rock and roll. But if they're not on the same page at the start, it's gonna be rough. So that's currently what we're trying to get going. It is client server. I'm trying to think about things I can tell you about it right now. It's client server based. We have a server that's operational, chipping away at functionality there, and the front end is starting to come together. Basically, just doing some authentication right now. Really basic stuff to make sure that we can communicate back and forth. Um, but that's good. Most of the work right now has been in the back end, and a lot of we did some prototyping and experimenting for things for other parts that are downstream of this work, and we said we should park that and go do this other piece for now because I think it's gonna have better traction, and we have a couple people that are like one person that's I think I mentioned this before onboarded to the workflow that's in place, but it's not using the technology that we're building yet, which is kind of a weird thing to explain, but we're basically proving the concept. If they're getting the value, this is the thing. If we're proving to them, hey, are you getting value out of this? It's a black box to them, right? Actually, it's not because I've explained it to this person, but they use it as a black box. They don't have to know any of the details about what's happening. Great. If you get the benefit out of that and you say, yeah, this is good to use, I want more, great. Like then we got something going on because what we're going to offer is more than what the current sort of black box solution offers. So I feel good about that. The one person is onboarded and they were going to onboard another company that they have. So I think that's awesome. Very excited about that. I think that's all I can share for now. And it's not because it's super top secret. I just want to like, I want to, I don't want to like, I don't know. Meal Coach is kind of disappointing because I think, um, I don't know. I feel like we had something good going on there, but we just didn't get to where we needed to be, and it felt like I think probably a lot of people that have tried doing side things like it almost feels embarrassing, like because so much work went into it, and I just don't want to have that feeling again because it's kind of gross. I'd like to be able to say, hey, look, we're being successful with the first customers and stuff. Like I think that's when I'll share more. And there's going to be some marketing and stuff that I'll have to do, so it'll probably start coming out that way. And maybe that's when I'll start to share like more details like behind the scenes, right? Like here's what's going on, and you can kind of see some of the details there. But yeah, that side project stuff, I'm excited because it's getting me coding, and this will lead into the content creation stuff. I haven't been able to write blogs at all, and it's because I've been coding. Like my time is going into code and not into blogs, and I need to be okay with that. So my web traffic is tanking. Like it's at 50% of what it was like 2 months ago. Um, and that's like that feels bad because with all the content creation stuff, I've been trying to make sure that I can keep adding more and more and more, but there's physically no capacity to do that. So something's got to give. The blog posts are the highest effort, lowest return thing that I can do. As funny as it sounds. So I am trying not to drop the ball on my YouTube videos. Almost did this week. For no good reason. That had me kind of scared. I'm like, why aren't I getting my videos done? Um, but I caught up. I got my tomorrow's video recorded today. I did an interview this morning that I'll be able to do for next week to release it. I have a bunch of interviews scheduled coming up. And yeah, okay, this is the cool part. So we're talking about content creation stuff. I don't I'll keep it pretty short because I don't have many new things in the pipeline except for guest interview speakers. So I do have some Microsoft employees coming to speak and do the sort of interview style, podcast style type videos. I have someone from the Blazer group is going to come speak, which is cool. Daniel Roth is his name. So he reached out to me on Twitter because of a blog post I made, which this is cool. This is like you make content, you'll have people. It's cool. You have people reaching out to you. Works at Microsoft. We got on a call like on Teams and we were talking about Blazor and he wanted to pick my brain about usability from my experience. This is super cool. And then he offered, he said, if you want to find some opportunities, he's like, I'd be happy to talk about Blazor. So I'm going to get him to talk about Blazor on the channel, which is awesome. Because not that I haven't enjoyed the interviews, I think they're very helpful, but I'm hoping to get more coding stuff in there as well. I want other people to come on and walk you through some really cool stuff. So we'll see some Blazor stuff. And not that he's not exciting. I think that's going to be super cool, but there's two more people that I have scheduled from Microsoft specifically that I'm very excited about. And I referred to them as the Taylor Swifts of the .NET world to my wife because she was like, I don't know who you're talking about and I don't care. And I don't blame her. But I have David Fowler and Scott Hanselman separately coming to speak. David acknowledged it and said he would be down after build. I have to get in touch with him. Scott, I reached out to again after like doing my initial outreach when he said sure. And I emailed him and he's like, yep, we'll get it on the calendar. So I am super pumped. So far I've been told like my conversational skills in the interviews have been very good. I just hope I don't feel like a big dummy when I have them on and I'm like, I don't know what to say to you guys. So I'm hoping, like, we haven't picked the topics for them yet. I'm hoping that David can do some Aspire stuff. I think that would be awesome. And Scott, I haven't asked anything specifically, but I'm hoping that he can walk through code and, like, do some show and tell type stuff that he's really excited about for .NET. And yeah, I'm super excited about that because if I go back a year, if I go back 6 months, I wouldn't have thought even that I could, get them to come on the channel. And you know what I did? I just asked them, right? I just asked them. There's nothing special. I'm not paying them to do it. I didn't have to trick them into it. I just asked them and they said yes. So it's like, you can sit there and go, oh, I don't know. I don't know if it'll ever happen. And it did in this case. And I'm saying this out loud, not because I'm trying to tell you, like, see, like, it's so easy. I'm saying it because it's extremely hard for me. And I want that to be something that I can say out loud. I don't know if I'll ever watch this video, right? But I want to make sure that I can say it out loud and, remind myself, if you don't ask and try to go after these things, you will always convince yourself that it's not possible for you. So there you go, future Nick. If you're ever watching this back, it was possible and it was simple. You just had to ask. So we'll wrap it up there. I'm excited. There's a lot of momentum, just not in the blog posts. That's just how it is right now. So maybe one day that'll come back. But for now, I'm coding. And with that said, I'm getting back into Visual Studio as soon as I hit stop on this. So I will see you next time. And thank you so much for your support. Take care.